This is my last reading for today. I just wanted to try it out. Hopefully this touches and finds whoever it's supposed to. I already prayed over the cards because this is like going to be my 4th reading. And this reading is actually going to be for the sign of Capricorn. And although I'm a Capricorn, angels, ancestors, as well as spirit, Most High, I ask that you allow me to only channel messages for the sign of Capricorn, for the collective, for the energy of the collective of Capricorn, and not my own. Please allow this message to be clear and concise. Allow me to relay it to the best of my ability. I was gonna do only 3 cards, but you know what? Since I'm a Capricorn too, I'm doing something special. I'm giving you guys 4. I really didn't have to shuffle that much. I like that it's getting easier. Alright, 4 cards. Please give me 1 card for the collective of Capricorn. Allow me to pull on the energy and for the collective of Capricorn. Please allow me to read for the energy for the collective of Capricorn and not myself. Please allow this message to be clear and concise to the best of my ability. Whatever you would like for Capricorns to know. Whoever clicks on this video, may they receive the information that they need. Please allow this message to be clear and concise. Alright. Okay, so 2. We got 2 cards for you guys. I'm running on low battery, so I'm going to try to get this out to the best of my ability as efficiently as possible. 222 just on the clock. I don't know if you heard confirmation of the dogs. Alright, let's see what we have, you guys. 3 of Swords. So I literally just read for this. I heard the dog whining. I think I read, I don't remember which sign. I believe this was for Aquarius. Heartbreak, division, loneliness. A swallow darts through the open sky, narrowly dodging 3 swords coming towards it. Historically, swallows have been linked to nautical travel. Swallow tattoos were common among sailors, who used them to indicate just how long their journeys at sea had been. They are symbols of encountering and combating adversity, and all the surprises life throws our way. The 3 of Swords reminds us that life can be a painful thing, but there is always the hope that calmer tides are ahead. So keep your chin up, keep your head up. Whatever you've been going through, you'll get through it. It's a matter of believing and knowing and getting there. When upright, the 3 of Swords signifies you're undergoing deep emotional pain. Someone close to you has hurt you to the core with their words, actions, and/or intentions. You probably didn't see this coming, but it's a signal that you must seek catharsis from the pain. Allow yourself an outlet to release negative feelings clawing at your insides. Once you've found release, only then can you concentrate on how to move on. So if you sing, sing. If you dance, dance. If you eat food, but be mindful. If you like to cook food, cook food. If you like to paint, paint. If you like to write, write. If you're a writer, some way. If you like to hike, hike. If you like to swim, swim. Use your passions to help you cleanse and release, as well as open yourself up to receive. While pain is an important facet of life, you must be careful not to internalize it. If you find that you are prone to being hurt by the words and actions of those around you, may need to dig deep to find the root of these wounds and take the steps needed to heal. So sometimes you have to go back to your focal point, which is our inner child. In some way, maybe you didn't receive the protection in which you needed. In some way, maybe you were mistreated. In some way, maybe you were neglected, whether it was a parental figure, a mother, father, sibling figure, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, brother, sister, or even your own child, right? Son, daughter, whoever. You have to go back, you have to forgive, you have to heal, and you have to release, because if not, it stops you from moving forward. We repeat lessons in life if we do not evolve. So make sure you're choosing to live a healthier, better life. Next card. We have the King of Cups. Balance, diplomacy, compassion. A flamingo balances easily on one leg, a golden cup resting on its back. Behind it shines a tempered sun radiating with power, serenity, and restraint. Flamingos represents composure and balance, as well as vibrancy and outgoingness. The two energies create a stabilizing force that lends itself well to diplomacy and group thinking. The King of Cups reminds us to find balance in all extremes. Once that balance is achieved, there's no limit to what can be accomplished. The sky is possibly the limit. What you believe you can achieve is not the limit, because oftentimes we are limited thinkers. You have to allow yourself to be a free spirit, to be a free thinker, to have a free mind, to roam freely. Keep a light heart, that way you can move freely. When upright, the King of Cups represents a mastery over emotions, creativity, and the subconscious. The work you've done to cultivate poise and control is finally paying off, and it's now time to use this newfound balance to guide you away from drama and towards absolute success. When going into decisions, rely on your heart and head equally. So you need both, your head and your heart, logic and love. You have to make sure they're moving on one accord. You can't just use one and not the other. They both coexist for a reason, because you need both to survive. You need both to get along your path. You need both for this experience of life. Intuition can be bolstered with logic, and the more you rely on this combination to guide you, the more people will seek you out for guidance in their own lives. Act as a leader who cares about the success of a project, but also the well-being of those who help you pursue it. So keep in mind, empathy, sympathy, compassion, all those are great tools for helping you with your balance, as well as your momentum, as well as your strive. Be compassionate to others and don't shy away from being a mentor or guide if the opportunity arises. You've worked hard to get to this point, and it's time for you to guide others down the path too. All right, so I'm running low on battery. The next card is Ten of Swords. Betrayal, severance, bitterness. A starfish raises its arms as 10 swords impel its limbs and center, piercing it through mercilessly. The swords pierce from above. The attack came when it was least expecting it. The 10 of Swords signifies betrayal and deadly harm, but even in death, there is still serenity to be found. Starfish are capable of regrowing lost limbs, implying that though damage has been done, recovery is still possible. So even after death, there's rebirth. In order for something to die, it's because something new is beginning. You can't have one without the other. When upright, the Ten of Swords signals a painful yet inevitable ending to a relationship, project, or an endeavor you were once a part of. This ending came as a surprise, shaking you to your foundations. You may be the victim of someone else's target, or you may be wearing the mantle of the victim in hopes of drawing pity and support from those around you. Break away from those mentalities, as they will only encourage you to fixate on the negative. The worst has already occurred. All that's left is to move past it and seek recovery while becoming acclimated to your new reality. So accept what has come, accept what's to come, and accept where you are. 10:10 is just on the clock. Confirmation of the dog. Last card, 5 of Cups. And that's loss, remorse, disappointment. 5 locusts congregate around 5 sunken cups, voraciously eating away at the ivy around them. Locusts have often symbolized famine brought down by the wrath of something greater than an individual. These swarms eradicate crops, leaving those affected with a heavy sense of despair and helplessness. The 5 of Cups rings true with similar tragedy, only coming to light when a situation has gone awry. However, it's how you move on from your unfortunate circumstances that determines the overall outcome. When upright, the 5 of Cups suggests you're embroiled in a situation that has gone over your head. Things haven't gone as you expected, and you're filled with disappointment. The situation may have left you feeling bereaved or introducing unwelcome change, whether through your job, your relationship, or some other significant domain of your life. You're more focused on the event and the change that it brought than with figuring out a way to move on and heal. It's easy to fall into the trap of rumination, but those thoughts are holding you back. You'll need to forgive yourself and look at the big picture, the bigger picture. Your hurt and pain are valid, but remember that there are opportunities all around you. Life goes on, and it's time for you to do so as well. Look forward to a brighter future and step towards the happiness you deserve. So don't spend too much time wallowing in unfortunate events, anything that was low vibrational that has happened, that has came into your life. If it happened to you, it happened for you. And the bigger picture that we oftentimes overlook and that we can't see is that now we know how to move better. Now we know what to look out for. Now we know how to protect ourselves. Now we know we've gone through this. We don't have to go through this again as long as we've learned from this lesson. So it's very important to release. It's very important to let go. Whatever you keep allowing yourself to relive, you will keep bringing on. 12:12 is on the clock. And instead of painting a picture that you've already been through, or creating a situation or envisioning a scenery that has already taken place, paint new ideas. Use fresh perspectives. Use a higher consciousness. That way you can accept the fact that you deserve more than what you were originally trying to settle for. And it's so weird. I can smell this smell, and it reminds me of my father. So I pray that you receive this. I'm gonna close it out with the 2 Angel Lyrium cards. And really quick, I feel the need to touch on it because I too have allowed myself to suffer from rumination, holding on to what happened and the change that it brought, rather than the fact of needing to heal and move on and grow. Your life only gets better when you decide that it will. Your life will only become brighter when you decide that it will. And recently, I have been stepping into enlightenment as well as the light. 333 was just on the clock. So don't run from the light, and you can't run from the darkness. If it wasn't for darkness, you wouldn't be able to understand the light. So we need both. There's an equal balance, but you choose which one you're going to walk in. You know which one feels better. Where do you feel energized? Where do you feel invigorated? Where do you feel happy? Where do you feel drained? Where do you feel uncomfortable? That's up to you. I can't speak for you, but I know that I got tired of my old ways of living, so I had to let go. It doesn't matter how scared you are of what's to come. It doesn't matter if you're afraid of your gifts. Your gifts are still going to be your gift. It's a matter of you tapping in to use them to cultivate and co-create a healthier alternative for yourself, which is in return a healthier life. All right, I'll wrap this up. So the Shadowed Scion is the first card. What you need to look out for. Let me just find it, please. So Quolpuff. The sign of the chosen had the ability to animate the natural world in a wild and unpredictable ways. Once activated, trees and rocks would unmoor themselves from the earth and take on extreme personalities, lacking any clear purpose for this technology. The Watchers seemed to create these beings less as a means of enriching the lives of others and more as a flagrant displays of power. The greatest among their creations was Quolpuff, a hulking mockery of the infinite's true form. From its twisted branches, the angels hung their curses. It bore the weight of their malice with grace and flourished despite the nearly cosmic level of burden they heaped on the tree. Domain, guilt, pain, captivity. Card meaning. If there is an aspect of ourselves we must not leave unknown, it is the shadowed self. Failing to acknowledge our darkest qualities lets them grow unchecked, pushing their roots through the landscape of our lives. Existence of our shadowed qualities cannot be erased, only managed. Treating these tendencies with a careful patience gives us the power to weave them back into our identities in controlled ways. Creating space and acknowledgement for our other side contains its chaos, restricting the harm it causes to ourselves and others. So keep in mind the dualistic nature. You can't just feed your light side. You can't just feed your dark side. You have to make sure you have balance with both, because if not, chaos will ensue as well as unbalance will ensue, and you need both to survive. Whatever you don't like about yourself, whatever you've had a hard time accepting, whatever you've been running from, accept it, be at peace with it, welcome it. That way you can use it for a greater good. You can use it for its highest possible good and turn it into light. Transmute, alchemize. That's what that card means. And then the last card, Angel of Coin. Sachiel. There was always a steady stream of traffic going in and out of Sachiel's tent. The metal he traded attracted the attention of every person who learned of it. The pieces of themselves were quite attractive, their luster made bolder by their power to sway the wills of men and angels alike. Even King Samyaza, coveted this new currency, perhaps in part because many of the pieces bore his likeness. When the trades of Sachiel made grew more slanted in his favor, no one questioned his allegiance to the collective cause of the angels. After all, it was worse to imagine being cut off from the coin lender's supply than to accept his will as their own. Domain, trading, coercion, borrowing. Card meaning. Now may be a time to be wary in your dealings. It's important to understand who has your interests at heart. It's worth asking yourself if someone in your life may stand to gain from your misfortune. Your power to refuse is always your own. Accept that power with seriousness, and you can stand firm against those who wish to use you as leverage for their own ends. So, if someone is looking to just gain from you, there's this raven walking by. If someone is looking to just gain from you, make sure you are standing in your power of boundaries. Don't allow yourself to be used, abused, misused, Don't allow yourself to run dry for the sake of fulfilling another. You have to fill your own cup first before you can help anyone. To help anyone, you have to lead by example. That's what I've learned recently. And to lead by example means you have to put yourself first. You have to make decisions that make you uncomfortable sometimes because you're doing things differently than how you may have used to in the past. And that means not sacrificing yourself to make anybody else comfortable. That means not diminishing your own light to make somebody else feel more powerful and more radiant. That means standing in your truth, owning your truth, as well as embracing your truth for who you actually are. Thank you for tuning in. Namaste.